Welcome to the Black Country Business Podcast. I'm Andy Hemming.
And I'm Lewis Haydon.
Today we're going to be talking about how to grow your business without being a marketing expert. You're going to want to listen to this one as we get lots of people asking us how to grow their business. The thing is, you don't always need to market to do that. We'll show you how.
So, the age-old saying then, what's the best form of marketing? Straight away, if I was to ask this to anybody, especially in the Black Country, you can't beat word of mouth. I can guarantee you 95% of the people that aren't marketers, by the way, people that are marketers have a different response to this, but it is word of mouth. What would you say to that, Andy? Out of that, would you say that's a true fact?
I'd say who's right? And the answer would be everyone.
Yeah.
That'd be part of it, wouldn't it?
That's right.
But yeah, I mean, I think the thing is word of mouth. It's really important, isn't it? And I think the other thing is, when we think about marketing and growing the business, most people tend to go straight to suspects. And what I mean by suspects is people who don't even know about them yet. So there's another way to think about this, isn't there?
Mm. The other end.
The other end, absolutely. Yeah. When I talk about this with clients, because they always talk about marketing, and they've got in their head that marketing is this idea of going out to the marketplace, talking to lots of people who don't know them yet. But what actually is the real definition of marketing? What are your thoughts on how would you define marketing?
Well, most businesses I speak to are the world's best kept secret.
Yeah.
So for me, marketing, well, depending on who I'm speaking to, would be how do we get more people to know about you?
Okay, great. So in essence, then we could call it communication and education.
That's right.
Because essentially what we want to do is talk to more people and tell them how that we can serve them better. Now, here's the thing. When we start thinking about that, I always draw some ripples. Like, imagine when you drop a stone into a pond. Where's the biggest ripple?
Right in the centre.
Right in the centre. I'm talking about not the diameter of the ripple, obviously, but the size of the wave that it causes is what I mean by that, just to clarify. So, yeah, the biggest wave is in the centre. Why is that? Because that's where the biggest splash happens. So if we start thinking about where the biggest splash in our business would be, right in the centre, our existing customers. Our existing customers already deal with us, yet how many of them know everything that we do? And the answer to that is normally quite low. So you see, here's the first potential, the first opportunity to grow your business without actually going out and marketing to people who don't know about you yet. You're marketing to people whose doors are already open. Because remember the definition of marketing, communication and education. So how well are you communicating with and educating your existing customers? Let's just go through the ripples first, and then we'll dig into them in a bit more depth. So the next level out, lapsed customers. Now, actually, lapsed customers, they've already dealt with you. They've already shopped with you. Why aren't they dealing with you anymore? Well, there's a bit of research that was done a while ago, and it says that the main reason that people don't deal with you anymore is perceived indifference. They think you don't care about them. So in the most part, somebody else has shown them that they care about them more than you do. What that really means in reality is you haven't spoken to them. They might have shopped with you and then you've forgotten about them. They haven't been communicated with. They don't feel loved anymore. Yet they used to deal with you. So chances are you could probably get them back. In fact, I remember back in 2010, actually, dealt with a business who was losing money, and just by going and contacting their lapsed customers, we got them back into profit on month one of their coaching agreement, their coaching program. Awesome. So lapsed customers are the next easiest people to market to. Then the third ripple, unconverted prospects. So people who've made an inquiry to your business, but you didn't actually get them to buy. Now, if you look in the mirror, the answer to the question really has to be, so what was it about my communication with those prospects that caused them not to buy?
That's right.
And then the last ripple is suspects, people who don't even know about you yet. So how much opportunity have you got within those first 3 ripples, even within the center one, your existing customers, to go out and grow your business, make more money? Because let's be fair, the key to profit is retention. And going and getting the guys who already do business with you to do more business with you. So let's frame up this whole thing in that respect. So what do you think?
It's really interesting you say this, Andy, because I imagine that quite a lot of our listeners, or 90% of them, are on LinkedIn right now.
Yeah.
And if you, like me, have got that title of director of business owner, you're going to get a lot of people marketing to you.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting that the thing that this is the way to do it is to keep reaching out to all these suspects that they don't even know, they're probably not even connected to, just because of that title, and then send, here, click my link, and you're going to go, oh, okay, that's great. I'm going to go and buy that straight away. What's the world come to? How is that? Go back to the start of when we started. The best form of marketing is word of mouth.
Right. So now we need to link that to something, don't we? So, guys, you want to be taking a piece of paper and writing this down.
Not if you're driving, by the way.
Not if you're driving, absolutely. If you're driving, either park or go back and listen to it again once you've stopped driving. But
if you're on the M5 or M6 in the Black Country right now, then most likely they are parked. So.
Quite possibly. But you'll definitely need to write this down at some point. And this is called the ladder of loyalty. So we need to put this out there, and then we need to talk about the levels in it. So right at the bottom of the ladder, suspects, we've already talked about them. And the definition of a suspect is somebody who's in your target market that doesn't know about you yet. You could do business with them, but they don't know about you yet. So essentially, the next level up is prospect. And a prospect is somebody who now knows about you. You've collected their details. So you're aware of each other, but they haven't bought anything from you yet. So most people think about marketing just at this level.
Yeah.
And really what we're talking about there is lead generation, which is a part of marketing. But there are many other constituent elements to marketing. Everybody sinks straight to the bottom of the ladder. Remember, we're at the bottom of the ladder right now. So that's the hardest part, taking people who don't know about you to people knowing about you. It costs money, takes time, doesn't work a lot of the time, really inefficient, pain in the backside. 80% of that type of marketing doesn't work. We know that to be true.
That's right.
So once we've got prospects, the next thing we have to do is turn them into a shopper. And a shopper is somebody who's bought from you once. So we're talking about sales process now and sales process effectiveness. How much money are you leaving on the table? Most people estimate their conversion rate to be quite high. And when we ask them to go and measure it, they find out it's quite low.
Yeah, I'll hold my hand up to that one, Andy. When I used to be a client of yours, 10 years ago now? We got 80% conversion. More like 12.
Right, absolutely. And this is not unusual. People delete the stuff that they don't win because they want to feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
So, but when we actually get them to go and measure it properly, they find out their conversion rate is actually quite low. So loads of opportunities there. So conversion rate, getting a prospect to become a shopper, getting them to buy from you once. Now, it's quite interesting here, you see, because then quite a lot of people just become a bit complacent. Well, they bought from me once. So, of course, they're going to come back.
Yeah.
But the next level up on that ladder is customer. And customer is somebody who's come back and bought from you multiple times. So multiple times, we can't be complacent. We can't rely on that happening. We need to communicate with them and educate them. And this be back to the purest definition of marketing. So how well are you doing that right now with your first-time shoppers to help them become customers? How much are you educating them about what else they can buy from you and why they should, so that they do come back? You've already built up some know, like, and trust because they bought from you once. Don't become complacent about assuming that they'll come back and buy from you more. Really interesting how many people do that. But then there's a break point in this ladder, and it's really interesting. So the next level up is member. And member is somebody who's starting to feel like a part of your business. So not only do they come back and shop with you multiple times, but they feel like some sense of affiliation. I think it's really important to cover off this ladder, and then we'll start examining why it breaks at that point between customer and member. So we go up out of member then, and we get to what we call advocate. So advocate is where the word of mouth that you mentioned starts to kick in.
Yeah.
Advocate is somebody who goes, do you know anybody good who does this? And you go, yeah, of course. You want to go and speak with these guys. So that's an advocate. They'll talk about you when prompted.
That's right. I mean, that's what the whole BNI network has been built on.
Very much so. So it's about referral, word of mouth, but when prompted. So that's a good level, good way up the ladder, but the highest level, the most exciting level. The one
Drum roll, please.
Yeah, the one that every business owner, how excited would you be as a business owner if you turned up on Monday morning and standing outside your business was a queue of people waiting to do business with you? We'd call them raving fans. Now, how many raving fans do you have in your business right now? And if you thought about it, what do they do for you? How much are they your unspoken heroes that go out and refer you to all their people? They shout you from the rooftops. They talk about you. You've got to go and meet these guys. They're the best at doing what they do. There's your most powerful marketing. So we've got this ladder: suspect, prospect, shopper, customer, member, advocate, raving fan. Surely our marketing should be about taking shoppers and customers and elevating them up that ladder to become raving fans, because they're already your inner circle, back to my pond. So what do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much emphasis on the suspect areas, but for marketers. But really, this is talking about, you mentioned sales process. For me, it's not really sales process, Andy. It's about service.
Right.
Adding value to people's lives, having communication, like you said. And if they're not buying from you, it's either because your product isn't or service isn't right for them, or there's one other thing. It can only be you're not communicating with them effectively so they understand what you do.
Yeah, perfect. That's a really good point. You see, a lot of people talk about their product or service, not the experience around their product or service. And actually, if you think about it, the product or service and the way that you deliver it is your process. And what you talk about is your promise. And the two have to be congruent with each other. In other words, your process has to follow your promise. I think just before we elaborate on that, though, there's some really interesting stuff in here, because I said there was a break point between customers and members. So I need to give you another equation here, because I've mentioned already retention. Retention is the key to profit, getting your customers to come back and come back. A member is somebody who feels like they're a part of your business. So I want you to write this equation down. Retention equals R squared. R squared, R times R. So retention equals results times relationship. If you have both results and relationship with your clients or customers, then you'll keep them. Now think about this, that break point. Customers, they experience results. They get what they expected. They're probably people who, if they need 3 quotes, they'll come to you and a couple of others. And they'll probably make their decisions based on, fair enough, not enough information because you didn't educate them properly yet. Or then there's the opportunity to get members. Now, members have not only experienced the results that you've given them, but you've also started to build a more concrete relationship with them. As a result, they probably come to you for their quote and feel like if they do feel the need to go anywhere else to get a quote as well, would come back to you because of the relationship and say, look, we've been to a few other people, but we'd prefer to do business with you. So the break point is relationship. Results, of course, the process has to flow through that whole ladder, but the break point happens around relationship because you chose to build a relationship with those clients to get it good enough that they see some measure of loyalty with you.
There you go.
How did that work out for you in your business?
Absolutely. Well, look, people don't stay if you're not getting results for them. Same with us, with our coaching clients. We get big results for them. Yeah. And that's why we have such a long retention of our clients, is because they keep seeing the result growth.
And build a great relationship with them.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I really, I said value, you said results, and that fits. I love that idea of R squared. By the way, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, that's the power, isn't it? Because it's not R plus R, it's R times R. So you compound the relationship and the results together to get better retention. So, hence no relationship, no loyalty. I've had plenty of people who said to me, there's no loyalty in this game. And I say, okay, well, that's quite interesting. So you don't have any customers for whom you're the first port of call. And they go, yeah, of course we do. So there's loyalty. It's just that you haven't found out how to systemize that loyalty yet. Why is it that those guys are loyal to you and other people aren't? Well, I'm not sure. Well, could it be because you've built a better relationship with them by chance? Oh, yeah. So how could you systemize building that relationship without making you appear robotic? But how could you build a better relationship with all of your customers so they move from customer to member? Different proposition.
Interesting, really interesting. And this now reminds me, and please stop me, Andy, if I'm jumping ahead of your thought process, but the 3 levels of a salesperson.
Absolutely.
Should we go there with this? Should we give the listeners this? So most salespeople that when we first start coaching with them, start speaking to the sales managers and speaking to the sales team, and they tend to be the one level which we call order taker. Yeah. So what this means is the marketing team have found somebody, or that they've got somebody to give an inbound call or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
They've sent a quote out, and that's it. There's a very little communication over the phone being made. Little getting to know that person. Thank you for your inquiry. Here's your quotation. Yeah. See that a lot?
Very much so. And the key thing about that, isn't it, is that the assumption when you just provide somebody with a quote is that they have enough knowledge to know what they need.
Yeah.
Now, we all know from when we buy stuff, very rarely do we go into making a purchase decision with enough information to make the best purchase decision. As a result, what we do is we go and do some research. And normally, as a result of doing some research, we make a different decision. So why is it that when we're the person who's helping other people buy our service, that we assume that they have enough knowledge to make a well-informed decision for themselves?
Interesting.
And they never do. So you see, if we take their order, if we accept that fact that they think they've got enough knowledge to make the best decision, what are the chances that we might sell them something that just doesn't fit their needs or fit their purpose?
Exactly. So is that truly getting them to the result that they wanted? So I don't expect raving fans if you're not giving them the results and the relationship.
Absolutely.
So for me, that order taker is probably one of the most dangerous areas to be in salespeople.
So.
The second step, Andy, is quote marks, salesperson. And the reason I say quote marks is what comes to your head when you think of salesperson?
Oh, well, I remember the first time somebody asked me that question, what are the first 3 words that come into your head when you think of a salesperson? Pushy, arrogant, shiny suit was what I wrote down. That's exactly what I wrote down. Because at the time I didn't have any experience of sales. And as a result, my connotations of a salesperson that's what I'd come into contact with. Salesperson equals somebody who's going to try and flog me something that I don't want.
Yeah.
And actually, if you think about the marketplace, probably 80% of the salespeople in the marketplace do that. The order takers are actually irrelevant. They don't really impact our perception of salespeople because they don't sell anything. They just take an order.
Yeah.
They're neither positive nor negative. But those salespeople, that definition, pushy, arrogant, shiny suit, pretty negative connotations, which is why so many people have a hang-up about, I don't want to be a salesperson.
Exactly. Yeah. But this, yet again, Andy, this is just perceptions from people's experience that they've had. Is there positive perceptions that can be had from a salesperson?
Well, I think it depends how you frame it, doesn't it? Because if you think about it, everybody hates to be sold, but also everybody loves to buy. So, I love our definition of sales, or selling, which is professionally helping other people to buy. And what does that mean? That means that we really uncover what it is that they need. and we solve their problem by educating them to make the right decision. And sometimes, by the way, that can be educating them that we're not the right provider for them. And that's okay too.
That's right. It's a win-win for both people, isn't it?
Absolutely, because win-win can sometimes be no deal.
Yeah.
Let's refer you to somebody else who we think can better meet your needs.
Yeah, absolutely.
That doesn't mean they'll never come and do business with you. That just means you've helped them get a better solution for their problem right now.
So just for the listeners then,
Yeah,
that may have missed that, level 1, order taker. Level 2, quote marks, salesperson, close quote. Level 3, problem solver, somebody who professionally helps somebody to buy.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, if we take that into that whole ladder of loyalty in the pond that we've talked about, if you're an order taker, how do you build a relationship with somebody? It's not possible, because all you're doing is sitting there like a chick in the nest waiting to be fed. If you're a salesperson, all you're doing is going out and pushing stuff at them that they don't really want. So there's no relationship there either, because what's the definition of a relationship? A two-way thing. So we have to move into problem solving. We have to go and find out what these guys need, what they want to achieve, how we can help them get there. There's only one way to do that. It's about change their level of knowledge. Sales, that's a whole different story. But I said to you, pushy, arrogant, shiny suit are my 3 words. Sales is actually one of my favorite things to teach now, because I've changed my perception on it so much,
But that's really interesting that you say change your perception so much, because there's so many people that I meet through networking or speaking to, or reach out to me through LinkedIn or whatever it may be. Lewis, I just don't like selling.
Yeah.
But the reason they don't like selling is because they're thinking of that shiny suit guy, the arrogant shiny suit guy.
Yeah.
Here's another definition of selling. If you've got a child, 5-year-old child, it's always there. You take them to the supermarket and they pick up a shiny ball.
Yeah.
How many times does that child ask you, "Oh, can I buy this? Can I buy this? Can I buy this?" And you say, "No, put it back. We're not buying that today." Yeah. How many times do they try and get that ball bought?
Absolutely.
Is that selling?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's having that idea of it's where you want to go with it. Having that idea of how can I get to that result as well. And what comes to mind here is statistics around this. And I'm going to say the nasty word, Andy, follow up.
Yeah.
Because when we mention follow up to sales managers and sales teams, it's like a real big taboo thing. Oh yeah, I do follow ups.
Yeah.
Okay, show me how many follow ups you've done then.
Yeah.
Well, straight back again to this idea of follow ups is the reason people don't want to do follow ups is because they think they're being pushy.
Yeah. Very much.
So they're being too kind and they're being order takers.
Yeah. The thing is, you see, for me, if you're having to follow up, the question needs to be, okay, how could I market and educate better to my prospects so that they can make a decision faster that they know this is the right thing for them or not?
So let's just give the statistics as well on how many sales is actually made from just one contact with a new customer.
Oh, isn't it something like 1 or 2%?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. And with the next two contacts, whether that be sending your quote out and a follow-up once.
3%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not until you get between 8 to 12 contacts that most sales are made for most businesses.
That's right. Yet 48% of salespeople don't follow up at all.
Wow.
So what we're saying is that, you're not educating. You're not really marketing, because marketing is communication and education. So you're not communicating, you're not educating, and you expect a sale to happen on the first touch. Not going to happen.
Yep.
So if we go back to that whole idea of it's your responsibility to raise the level of knowledge in your prospects or customers, because remember, they're the inner circle. The customers and up are your inner circle in my pond. It's your responsibility to raise their level of knowledge so they can buy a better service or product which meets their needs more of the time from you if they trust you. But the chances are they're going to buy that stuff from other people because you haven't reminded them that you can help them with it.
That's right. So, marketing, we've got on to talk about sales process here, but for me, Andy, this isn't about calling it sales or calling it marketing.
Not at all.
This is about communication to help people and give more results to people out there. And the after is that you're going to get the sale from it as well.
Definitely.
So, for me, let's go back to the world that we're educated in right now. Is if you want to get more marketing in your business, then we need to start looking at this and bringing more lead generation in, like you mentioned. But wouldn't it be stronger for a business to get that customer service level right, get that sales process about how they educate and get results for people and how they communicate people?
Yeah.
It would be better money well spent to get that process right first before pumping thousands of pounds into Facebook ads, Google ads,
Completely.
By a marketing consultant, SEO, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
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 So you've always said, why would you turn the tap on without putting the plug in the sink first?
Very much so.
And that's what a lot of businesses are doing right now.
Yeah. So back to it, repeat business equals profit. So once we got that inner circle of customers, then we have to educate them well, because it costs less money to do that. Show them what we can help them with, and help them buy as much from us as is humanly possible, because that's where your profit comes from. That's where you and then we work on our delivery experience, customer experience, so that we can push them as far up that ladder as possible, so we get more raving fans who are the guys who are shouting about us to say, you got to go and deal with these guys, because not only is their products or service brilliant, we have an amazing experience every time we do it, and it's consistent. For me, that is the only kind and most powerful kind of marketing that you can possibly do. Back to your first comment, word of mouth. And we have to have the process to back it up, because otherwise that word of mouth is, don't go and see those guys, they're diabolical.
That's right. Marketing managers out there, it really confuses me when, if you think about the whole process that somebody comes through, they've heard about your business.
Yeah.
They go through the experience that they have with the salesperson. They have the sale. They go through the experience of waiting for that operation to happen, whatever it may be. Then it gets delivered to them.
Yeah.
And then they have the experience of experiencing your product or service.
Yeah.
The marketing person then goes and finds someone new.
Yeah.
Well, surely the best thing that marketing person could be doing is speaking to the person after that process is finished. Absolutely. To get their feedback. Absolutely. And if it's not good feedback, that process needs changing.
Absolutely. So my question to you right now would be, how
to me,
well,
or the audience?
The audience,
yeah,
would be, how well are you looking after your inner circle, those existing customers? How many raving fans are in there? How much money are you wasting trying to put new stuff into the top of your funnel when you've got opportunities that are already sitting there waiting to be educated, and you can help them buy more from you, so that they get a better customer service, better product, better service from you, that they're already sitting waiting for it to happen. This is why I guarantee in every business that we come across, we can help them grow their business without them becoming a marketing expert, because that definition of marketing expert is, how do I go out and get new customers? You don't need to. So we're a couple of episodes into this podcast now, guys, and we hope we're creating some raving fans. The thing is, if you're getting value from it and you're really enjoying our content, please do share it with other people. We want to help all the business owners in the Black Country. It's our mission, actually. We talked about vision last time, so we want to help you whether you choose to work with us or not. All we'd ask is that you take action, and taking action can be passing it on to somebody else who might take action as well. Look forward to seeing you next time, episode 3.